7 in our video series of making your own family history video using Corel Video Studio X7 Ultimate. Today we're going to accomplish several things. Last week we made a family tree that we're going to be able to follow, and then we're going to talk about that red hair in this particular subject family here, and where it came from, and we're going to show you how to follow that tree. And then we're also going to correct some bad footage. Some of this video was just taped as a way to get the information, and some of it was actually a sit-down interview. So this first part was simply to gather the information and not the best footage. But we're going to fix it, and but let's first hear the story of the red hair, or at least part of it.
And Mom's real mother, and her name was Hart, and I don't know whether it's got an E on the end of it, like H-A-R-T-E, or whether it's just H-A-R-T, and I'm not even positive of that, but she was a redhead, and she's the one that Grandpa had gone to Wichita and apparently got with this Hart gal. I don't know her first name. And he went back to Oklahoma where they were living, and then I forget how old Mom was, but one day the Hart lady delivered this baby to Grandpa. Said, "Here, I can't take care of this baby or his child." And
the only thing I can remember...
And she tells the story again. So these are two of the redheads that came from this redheaded lady in the family. And so we're going to address several issues here. First of all, we're going to address the shakiness of this video here, and we're just going to choose this one. I probably would have done all of these, and I probably would have done it even before I started snipping them up into pieces and taking out the ums and ers and r's and where people stumble when you're talking to them. And that's not a problem. Well, people do it all the time while they're thinking. It's part of the editing process, and you can see where I've taken some out. But this particular piece of footage is a little bit shaky, and so as we go through it, you'll see how it could have been much smoother.
And her name.
And let's make things quiet here, because at this point you don't have to hear the whole story again, but just watch the sound and you'll see how it shakes around. So we're going to fix that. First of all, we've highlighted this clip, and then we're going to go to FX, okay, and we are going to add this Mercalli effects right here. This is a video filter, and we are going to left click and drag it onto where we are. And this will need to be analyzed. So we go to the options panel, see over here, and we click on options, and we see the Mercalli. And we're going to customize that filter, and we're just going to look at the final result, but you can switch it to a horizontal or a vertical split screen. We'll look at a split screen just so you can see it. And the filter that we're going to add to this is called the Rocksteady camera. So we're going to add the Rocksteady camera filter, Mercalli filter, and we're going to show the vertical split screen. And we say OK. And it's going to run through it and analyze this video, just this one little clip, which, as you can see, is about 2 minutes and 18 seconds. Okay, so now when we see the clip, let's go to the clip and see the horizontal, and you see how we've got these things around it. This is the steady. This is the steady. And see how much steadier it is, which is good. But you see how it's now got blank spaces around it. So First, let's go back to our Mercalli, which is all still highlighted there, customize filter, and let's get out of the split screen and go into final results, say OK, and then go back to the beginning of the clip. And as you watch it now, and you'll see the little black border, see how it has moved around instead of the camera moving around, keeping him steady, which is great, except now we've got these goofy things going around. So the next thing we want to do is add another filter, and we have to make sure that this right here is not clicked. It's by default, it's normally got an X there. We don't want to replace this Mercalli, we want to leave it where it is, and then we're going to go to another one, and it's on the last line there, almost the last line, video, pan and zoom. And we're going to add that effects to it also. And then we're going to customize that filter, and we're going to choose where we want this video. Whoops, we want to be at the beginning of the video. Let's choose where we want to be. And remember that those things came a little bit less than this as far as how close it came, those black markers, but they came up higher as I recall. So we're going to zoom in a bit more, and we're going to raise it up, not quite to the top, but about there. And we're going to say this is how zoomed in we want to be, and our key frame that we're working with is over here. So right click and copy and paste to all, and that way it'll hold in that position throughout the whole thing. So now when we watch our clip, and let's go back, we're still in clip here. Now when we watch our clip, we will see that we have no borders, and it's much steadier. Okay, so those were a couple of the filters that we wanted to add today. And then the last thing that we wanted to do, which is really a fun thing to do, and you'll use it in your family videos a lot, and that is we made a pretty tree, and maybe while this is being told, and I would sit back and listen to it a little bit longer and know exactly where I wanted to put this in. And usually it's where you want to maybe hide something that didn't look just right, or a face that they were making, or somebody walked through the background or whatever, and you just want the sound, and that's the perfect place to put it in, or it's simply an explanation. So the first thing we're going to do though is give this a background, because if we just put it on here like this on top of it, then you see its part, the background is the video, and that's distracting. So we're going to delete that. And what we're going to do is add another background. So that means we need another overlay track. So we're going to go to the track manager, you see it here, and we're going to add an overlay track and say OK. So now we've got another track to work with, and I'll show you how that's going to be used. First we're going to go get a graphic, and we want it to be just a solid color, and let's just make it white, which makes it easy. And we say we pull that white down here to our third track. Okay, and then we're going to pull that white out for about, let's make it 12 seconds. Right there. Oops. And I let go. Come on, 12 seconds. 12 seconds. Okay, so it's 12 seconds long, and we've got it right here. And we're going to stretch it out so that it covers the entire screen. And there we go. And that is right there. Okay. Then we're going to go up to, go back up here again. We're going to go back to our library, and we're going to pull our family tree right here. And we're going to put it over here, right there. And we're also going to pull that out to 12 seconds. And oops, I have put these in the wrong order. So each track, visual track, sits on top of the track above it. So we need to switch these two things around so that this one is on top of the other one. Make it bigger. There we go. It takes up the whole screen now. So now we've got this with a white background behind it, which is just fine. No problems there. And what we're going to do, and there's a couple ways we could have done that. We could have split the audio and cut the thing, and that way it just would have had a black background and nothing else. Put it up in a different, and there's a lot of things, ways we can do it, but this was easy enough. So now we've got this going along here, and as he goes through and he's telling the story, as soon as he says red hair, say, he's telling where the red hair in the family came from. And so we've got this, and we go up to Tools, and we say Painting Creator, and there it is. And now we've got currently on the paintbrush. Stick with me here. And we're going to make this about 9 by 9. I'll show you why. Obviously I've done this once or twice. So see about how big that is. And if we go to the settings, we're going to say that we don't want a soft edge, we want a real edge. And we want this transparency to be the same. We don't want really any angle to our brush. And we say OK. And we don't have a super sharp edge, but we have an edge. We've chosen a color. You just choose your color by clicking anywhere in here and move it around to get a color that you like. And then we say start recording. And when we start recording, as soon as I click this mouse, and this is the little one that was, this is a boyhood picture of the man who was just talking. So we're going to go from here, and as soon as I hold my mouse down, it gives me that color. We go up and over and up, and I've not let go of the mouse, and over to the red-haired mom, and then that comes up and over and up, oops, and over to Maggie Hart. And that might even go a little bit further. There you go. So we say stop recording, and there it is. Doesn't look like much, does it? And it's only 3 seconds long. So right click, change duration. We know we set it for 12 seconds, so let's set this one for 12 seconds and say OK, and say OK. And now it's going to show you the path, and it's producing a creator file. And we're almost there. And now we have another file here, but we don't have any overlay places to put it. So we are going to add one more overlay. I'm going to make it an overlay 3, say OK, and we're going to take this right down here, right to there. So now when he's telling the story, it's going to flip to our picture, and we're going to go to her, and then go up to him, or to her. And that's it for today. Have fun playing with this. You can do all kinds of fun things to follow up the tree as many generations as you need to go, which is, you've seen it I'm sure on TV, but that's how to use the Painter Creator to create the line that follows the family tree. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter for the next step in making your own family history video.